Top 10 Best Board Games for Kids Aged 5, 7, based on fun, educational value, and appropriate simplicity. A great family activity that gets youngsters away from their phones, televisions, and video games is playing a nice board game. An excellent board game motivates by fostering interaction, cooperation, and strategy. We've gathered a couple of the top board games available online to save you time from sifting through the never-ending selection. Number 10. Pick Up Sticks. Pick up sticks. Pick a sticks. Jackstraws, spillikins, spellikins, or fiddlesticks are all acceptable terms. Is a physical and mental skill game in which players drop a loose bunch of sticks, ranging in length from 8 to 20 centimeters, onto a tabletop and place them in a random pile. Each player takes turns trying to remove a stick from the pile quietly so as not to disturb the other players. The goal of the game is to collect the most sticks or, depending on the color of the sticks, to score the most points. The game comes in various iterations. There are usually at least 2 players and 30 sticks or more. The bundle of sticks is dropped or randomly distributed at the start of the game, resulting in a tangled mound of sticks. Number 9. The game Snakes and Ladders. The board game Snakes and Ladders, which may be played by 2 or more people, is still considered a classic today. Moksha Padam, the game's original name from ancient India, was introduced to the UK in the 1890s. On a board with numbered, griddled squares, it is played. On the board, various ladders and snakes are depicted, each linking 2 distinct board squares. The goal of the game is to move one's game piece from the beginning, bottom square, to the finish, top square, using ladders for assistance but snakes for hindrance. The game is a straightforward race that relies solely on chance and is well liked by young kids. Number 8. Old Maid. Charles M. Green initially published the game's rules in 1882 in England and 1884 in America, and he used the term rules in Bazaar, Exchange and Mart in 1883 a brand new game. It could, however, be considerably older and descended from the German game Black Peter, whose rules were first published in 1821, or from the French game of Vieux Garçon, whose rules first appeared in 1853. Number 7. Go Fish. One of the earliest card games introduced to kids in the United States was Go Fish, which uses a normal deck of cards. Participants try to finish books by collecting 4 cards with the same number. The 2 of hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades together would be a book. Players alternately ask one another if they have a card in their hand that matches one dealt to them after each is dealt 6 cards. If a player possesses the requested type of card, they must give it to the player who is asking for it all. After that, the player who is asking might ask the same player or a different player for more types of cards. The asking player then draws from a draw pile if the first player doesn't have the requested card. Number 6. Candyland. Candyland is a game designed by Eleanor Abbott in the early 1940s to amuse kids recovering from polio. It was initially released in 1949 by Milton Bradley, now Hasbro, and it helps kids socialize, practice patience, distinguish colors, learn rules, and follow instructions. Gamers compete to find the lost King Candy at Candy Castle by racing along a rainbow-colored track, but watch out for hazards like the gummy molasses swamp. Place your plastic gingerbread man, or another character marker, at the track starting to get things started. Players select a straightforward card for each turn, then move by matching the color of the card with the subsequent color on the track. Number 5. Chutes and Ladders. Chutes and Ladders is a fun game of ups and downs. Climb up and slide down. The square with the number 100 is visible to both you and the person on your pawn, but getting it is not so simple. You can shimmy up a ladder if you land on a good deed, but if you land in the wrong area, you'll fly down a chute. To find out how many positions you'll move, spin the spinner. Will your new position take you down or up, and up? Chutes and Ladders is a game of sliding and winning. Number 4. Memory. The board game uses the well-known memory gameplay in which players turn over 2 tiles on their turn and collect matching tiles or return them face down if they don't. However, winning the game does not depend on how many matching pairs you gather. No, the background of the game board on which the tiles are laid out has a variety of colors, with green representing forests, blue representing lakes, etc. After you collect tiles, you can decide whether to put them back face up on it if the background color of the tile matches the color of the spaces being covered. This results in you receiving 4 points depending on how many tiles you return. The 4-point tree segment is taller than 4 1-point segments. The points are represented by tree segments. Number 3. The sneaky, snacky squirrel game. Your woodland friends are starving and need your assistance. Squeeze the corresponding colored acorn with your Squirrel Squeezers, spin the spinner, and then insert it into your log. Win if you can fill your log with tasty acorns first. Be wise, little squirrel, because you might potentially misplace, spin pick, or steal an acorn. Number 2. Don't break the ice. One by one, tap out the ice blocks. When you're finished, they won't melt. To prevent the polar bear from sinking, take your time and consider your options. The bear has to maintain its lead to prevail. He will go plop with one false block. Game for kids that involves tapping out 1-inch ice blocks in a plastic frame. The objective is to have the other player be the one to break the middle 2-inch by 2-inch block falling squarely, taking the polar bear with it. Number 1. HiHo Cherry. HiHo. The children's game Cherry focuses on teaching turn, taking and counting. Players spin a central spinner, which determines whether cherries are winning or losing. The player who fills their bucket with 10 cherries first wins. After being modified in 2007, the game now has cooperative play guidelines. Players in the cooperative game cooperate to gather every fruit before the bird consumes them. The bird is a 9-piece puzzle. The cooperative game is remarkably similar to Orchard. How was the video? Did you enjoy it? Post your feedback in our comments section below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.